Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today we are outside. The weather is bad, but I'm awaiting a delivery, and it should be here any moment now. Wonder where it is. Oh, there it came. Yeah. Hurricane transport. Okay, so this package has been shipped from Uncle Joe's Playhouse, and if you want to know why it's wet and full of dust and stuff, well, you'll have to go and check out his channel and see why it was sent this way. So let's get into this, see what's in this wet package. Yep. Some wet paper here. Yeah. From Amazon. Of course there's nothing in here, I faked it, but this is what used to be in it before we did that. So we're gonna put those here and go closer. So Uncle Joe's Playhouse is located in the United States, Texas, and well, he is nice enough to help me when I need something on Amazon over there. You guys, when you use the links in the description of my videos, well, I make a little bit of gift certificate money on Amazon. Very difficult to get that shipped over here, so I have it shipped to Uncle Joe, and then Uncle Joe collects it and ships it over to me. So let's see. This time it's small things. I have bought some processors, some really nice ones. Oh, this one I have had open. This one is another package, 2 of them. So let's see. First one, the ones that we're gonna be playing with today are these 2. The other ones we will do another day, because these are the coolest and the most expensive and all of that. So let's see. This is a pair of processors, and this is an E5-2690 version 2. This is a 10-core 3 GHz processor, so I am going to be upgrading my awesome Lenovo X3650 Model 4, which is right here. It's going to get a set of new CPUs. This was quite an investment, and I will of course leave some links in the description so that you can go see how expensive these were. They were expensive. They are still pretty new processors, so they are not being given away. So we have a nice set here. I hope it's the same kind. Okay, they're the same model of CPUs, the SR1A5, but this one is made in Marla and Costa Rica. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see if the server will work with that. What are the other CPUs? Well, they are for the Lenovo X3650 Model 2 and 3. I am expecting. So these 2, there are 2 of those. This is the Intel Xeon 5690. This is the biggest processor in that series, the most powerful one, I believe. And over here we have it's the little brother. It's the Intel Xeon 5675, which is the largest and fastest processor that you can get, which has a TCP of 95. And as the Model 2, the Lenovo X3650 M2 should only use up to 95 watts. This is the biggest processor that can be put in that server, so I got a pair of those to try that. We are also gonna try this in the M2, I expect, but I expect that it will be complaining about that. So, but we're gonna be putting in these 2, but we gotta go visit the computer first. So at the computer here, this is Uncle Joe's Playhouse, YouTube channel about, well, he's more into the software of servers and small business and home security and stuff. Check out his channel. I watch all of his videos. And if you look over here, He thinks my channel is his favorite, so I'm very happy about that. I bought these CPUs on Amazon, and I have them here in my purchase history. The one we are playing with today is down here, and they were $259 a piece. So, that makes it $520 for those two CPUs. I think they are the second most expensive CPUs I have ever bought for myself. The Intel Xeon 5690s are up here, they were $105, and then the Intel Xeon E5-2670s are here, and they were $39.99 a piece. So that's gonna be cool. Also, check me out on Patreon, where I posted a picture of this Fujitsu server that well, you saw this Monday. You kind of saw this picture. We were in it Monday, and this Friday we're gonna be mounting it in the rack. So moving along, the server that we're gonna be upgrading is this one. This is my 24/7 server, and it's the Lenovo X3650 Model 4, and it has those nice CPUs. I am gonna be playing with this jump server that I have here. And for this, I have given it all the 32 cores that are available from the two CPUs that are in there. Those are 8-core CPUs, and with hyperthreading, each of them has 16 threads, and there are 2 of them, so that makes it 32. So I've given them all of that, or I've given that one all of that, and we're gonna be replacing those. There are not bad CPUs. It's the Intel Xeon processor E5-2670, the version 1, and this is it. They are 2.6 gigahertz, 8 cores, 16 threads, 115 watts. So I have compared them here on Intel's page, the 2670 and the 2690 version 2. A very similar processor. This one has been discontinued. This one doesn't say yet, but I don't think they make many of those anymore. They were very expensive as new. This is 32 nanometers and this is 22 nanometers. So they are some years back. 8 cores, 10 cores, 16 threads, 20 threads. This is a 2.6, this is a 3 gigahertz. This has a max turbo frequency of 3.3. This has a 3.6. 20 megabytes of smart cache, 25 megabytes of smart cache. Both of them has 8 GTSQP links. 2 of those. Power consumption, 130 watts. Voltage, and then there is a lot of stuff down here. One of the important features is that the 2670 is only able to handle 384 gigabytes of RAM per processor. So with 2 processors, it can handle 768 gigabytes, but the new processor that we are putting in can each handle 768 gigabytes of RAM. So that brings the server up to a total of 1.5 terabytes of RAM. Awesome. And the frequency even goes up. It's gonna be able to handle 1866 megahertz of RAM. That is only when you do it right and have the right RAM and so on. So let's move on from there. I have checked them out on Passmark, each of these CPUs. 2670 scores 12,157, where the E5-2690 version 2 scores 16,488. It's not a big difference. In this case, we pay a lot more for the last little bit. So with these 2 new CPUs, I kind of get an extra server inside of my good server. I get a score of about 8,000 more something, if this is correct. So let's see. I told you that I was gonna do that jump server, and here it is. I have already run Passmark on it. This one is a virtual machine, and it has all the 32 cores available. They are over here. That's the 32 cores. This is the CPU mark I have run on it, and it scores 18,915. It's a really good high number. Also, I have prepared Cinebench 15, so we can run that. We have that here. There. And we can see here that the processor is the E5-2670 0, so that's probably it. So we're gonna run the CPU test. That shouldn't take too long. There. So we scored 1827. So just to have some test results to when we have replaced the CPUs. So now I'll shut down everything and we will go replace the CPUs. Server is now powered down. It's blinking. It's not often I have this off. It has been a while since it has been off last. Yeah, a bit too exciting. I'll go around the back and disconnect this. Server is powered off. We will need this. So here is the awesome Lenovo X3650 Model 4. And now we're gonna put in a very good CPU, or a couple of very good CPUs. To do that, we need to get down here, and I see that we need to remove this riser card to do that. So we'll need to pop that out. And you didn't get a good view of that. It sits over here. There's nothing in this riser card. This is two X16 PCI Express ports that we put over there. Down here we have a 10 gigabit Ethernet card, 2 ports, so that is good. And then we pop out this. Dude, there's a battery there for the rate controller. This wire, so we don't put it too far away. And down here we have 2 CPUs, heat sinks there, and we're gonna pop those out just with this arm right here. Release that. Same thing over here. Release the arm and take the heat sinks out. And there is some nice heating compound on there. We're gonna clean that. I left the paper out of reach, did I? Can I reach it? Ah! Yeah. Gonna clean that off with a bit of toilet paper here. I don't really want to clean it in over the server. I don't want this paste to get down anywhere. So another one very clean there. And let's take the CPUs out. So let's start with this one. This is CPU number 1, and there's a lever in each side of the CPU, and you release that, and you kind of do it kind of as much as you can in the same way to release pressure on the CPU equally. And very carefully you remove this piece of metal, get that out of the way, and I'm just gonna remove any old things there, and we will take the CPU. Let's see, we have a new one here, one of the new ones. We're gonna put that in as, just gonna take this one out and put in this one. I really don't like to have these sockets exposed. Bad things can happen. So we put this one back down and we lock this one in place first, and when it's down far enough, the other one will go and lock that one in place. So now we have the CPU in place there, and we can go to the next one, CPU number 2 over here. So we will release that. Doesn't have to take that long. I'm just gonna clean that before I take the CPU out of there. Right now the CPU are protecting the pins of the socket. If you break the pins on the socket, well, you are looking for a new system board, and those are even more expensive than the CPU. So I have the next CPU here, another $260 CPU ready. So we're gonna take that one, put it over on the towel, and put that one in there. This is some heatsink compound that I bought for next to nothing in China, and it has actually been working great for me. So I have no problem using this. So we will do as I always do when I put this on. There. And we will put the heat sinks back on. Should we just check the heating compound if it's good down there? I might do that. Yeah, it when it heats up, I'm sure it will be doing the whole CPU, no problem whatsoever. So I'll put this back together. This one has broken, that's kind of irritating. Here are the two E5-2670. I'm gonna clean those, but let's power the other one on first. Okay, so while this powers on, I can clean those. And I have connected the monitor, so we should be able to see it booting. And something came up on the screen, so it's not completely dead, which is good. If I'm not very much mistaken, Unky Joe also sent me these same project. Got them on Amazon, shipped them to him, and he sent them on to me. So these are going in another Lenovo X3650 Model 4, and they will fit very nicely in there. Have another set of these in the Lenovo X3550 Model 4 that are sitting down here. So it's these are good CPUs. They are actually pretty powerful and not too expensive. Oh, this is taking too long. When you replace the CPU and nothing happens for too long, oh, you get nervous, and I am nervous. Ooh, something is happening. Something is happening. It's making noises. Are we booting? Ooh, this took way too long for comfort. It's booting VMware. So, ooh, this took a long time. That wasn't nice at all. I think it has been 5 minutes. Well, it is. If you power a server for the first time, it will do an extended test. If you have power on it and you reboot it, it will be a lot quicker. But if you remove power from it and let it sit for a little bit and change out something, well, it checks everything, and it might even boot 3 times to make sure that nothing bad would happen. And well, right now it's I didn't like this much, but right now it is actually running. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I have dirty fingers. I've just been attending the Woodstock E5-2690s version 2, 3.00 gigahertz. These CPUs were supplied, or I bought them at something called PC Server and Parts. This is not sponsored on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description. But it came with a coupon code here. I have no idea if that's usable for anyone. I will keep this around if I would ever buy anything from them again. If you beat me to it, try the code. I don't care. Now that was bloody fun. Guess who had forgotten his password to that host? I installed all the machines on another host, and then we did a video on upgrading my vCenter, and then off screen I moved every bit of data over to that M4, and it's a really good server, so it doesn't crashes, and I haven't needed to reboot it until today, and it didn't come up by itself. Yeah, so I had to reinstall it. Everything was on there. So the hard drives, all the data was on the hard drive, and I had to kind of pull the rock out under it and reinstall ESXi 6.5 on the host itself and get everything else up and running underneath that. So yeah, it's been about 4 hours since the camera has been rolling last time. So but I'm ready again. So here is the host, and we are looking at it through vCenter. It's over here, and yeah, on this host my DHCP server is running, my editing server, my pfSense, so I had no internet, my jump server, my ubiquity manager. I had kind of consolidated everything down to one server, right? And then I choose to upgrade the CPUs, which is now here. E5-2690s version 2, 3 GHz, 40 logical cores. Awesome. And we can see over here-ish that we have 60 GHz available. It kind of puts all the numbers together, and it's only using about 4.15 GHz. It's nothing. So everything is up and running. So is it any faster? Well, let's go see. This is the same test machine, the jump server that we were looking at before. I have already run this pass mark, CPU mark it's called. It is doing better. Before it was 18,000 something, now it's 24,268 for the CPU. I ran this before I turned on the camera because it's so damn boring to wait for. Over here we can see all the cores, and there are of course, I have gone in and I've added all 40 cores to the virtual machine here. So we are testing all 40 cores. The reason why I'm doing this and not testing it on bare metal is because this is the way I use the machine. I don't use it on bare metal. So that's the reasoning. And I thought that we should just do Cinebench again. There, okay. It remembers the results from last time, so we have that right there. That was 1827. So let's run the CPU test again. This should be even quicker. Okay, that's a good score, I guess. 2512. That's where all those $520 went. So it's about double the speed, if that's the way to see it, compared to this processor. Awesome. So again, thank you very much to Unky Joe for being the middleman and shipping this forward to me. Please go check his channel. I don't know if it's that way his channel is. He makes good long videos on interesting software projects often. He's a Dell dude, so if you're into Dell servers, he's playing more with those. Also, I'll thank everybody who has used my link to go shop on Amazon, because that's how we paid for these CPUs, and I can now play with those, including the four. Where did they go? There. These 4 CPUs, which we're gonna be using for upgrading an M2 and an M3. First we're gonna try them on the M2, and then I am expecting that the 25675 will go in an M2 and the 2X5690 will go in an M3. So this video became way too exciting for me because I had forgotten that password. And I think I tried more than 2 hours to type different passwords, but I have probably been doing some video on the server and I just put in a temporary password that, oh, I can remember that. No fucking way he could. It wasn't nice to have to reinstall ESXi and not touch the drives that were in there. I did also run into an issue with the RAID controller, so when I booted the server, all the drives was just gone. Yikes! luckily they came back, and I could go in and I could pick all the virtual machines and say to load them again. So that happily worked out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.